Welcome back to Boomer's Playground, everyone. Today we're going to be going over quiz 4 from the Colt Steele Web Developer Bootcamp. So, you guys saw I got one answer wrong last time. I actually didn't get it wrong. I just probably clicked the wrong thing, but it's just funny to say that. So this is just going to be a quick variable quiz. We're at the end of the JavaScript basics section, so it's probably just going to be a quick one. Let's see what kind of stuff this is. Question 1, which one of the following variables contains a valid Boolean? So, all right, which one of the following variables? So we have a let is happy equals true. All right, well, a Boolean is true or false. Then we have another one which is true but without quotes. Oh, okay. And then let is happy is true. Well, that one's got a capital T. This one's got a lowercase t. Oh, I think I know what it is, but let's Google it. Again, remember, it's not about memorization. These are things that you will memorize over time. But let's just Google it real quick, and we could just do you just do Boolean values JavaScript. All right, and so like I said, we'll do W3 schools, which is fine. All right, so we see a Boolean just represents one of two things. So it can only be true or it can only be false. So, all right, so this is actually a pretty bad example of a Boolean documentation, but we'll jump over. Let's see. And so this is pretty much just doing things. Oh, okay. Here we finally got something here. So the Boolean value of false is, you guessed it, false. So let x equal, we got false. Okay. So one thing I noticed here is I'm not seeing any quotes like we have there. And it is lowercase. Now I know this is false, but a lot of times so false is, so my guess is going to be, it's this little t. And so let's check the answer. Cool, so we got that one right. So let's go over this a little bit. So why is the first one not correct? Well, it's pretty basic, but anytime you have a single quote or a double quote or string templates or string literals, so, true, true, and true, these are all string values. So a Boolean is a yes or no thing, whereas these are just are strings. So if we have true, true is a Boolean value. So true equals true, and that's false. And you're like, oh, that's crazy. Well, it's because you're comparing the Boolean of true to the string of true. So this is literally just a word, whereas this is a Boolean value. So let's check this guy out. I don't know if this will be true or false. Okay, so that's still false too. All right. So that's why the first one didn't work, was because it's technically a string. It's not a Boolean value. The second one didn't work because that's capital T and that's a lowercase t. In JavaScript, lowercase and uppercase are not the same thing. So you'll see that's true. That's true. Let's add a space there. This will be false. And again, I know it sucks, but it's because we have this simple space there. A space is a thing in JavaScript, so they're not the exact same. So that's the reason the second one didn't work, is we had the uppercase and this one has a lowercase, so we're good there. So that's why that one was the right option. So let's jump on to question 2. So which of the following variable declarations follows JavaScript variable naming conventions? So this is an interesting one, because you're learning about kind of the standard JavaScript conventions now, but when you get into a job, they're going to have their own set of rules of how they want to do certain things. So like at my job, if you have a function that does more than two things, you need to make a second function. If you can use an arrow function, use the arrow function over the old ES5 one. So your job will have all these different things. They want you to do things a certain way, and that could decide this, because in the grand scheme of things, none of these are wrong. They'll, let me rephrase that. None of these will throw an error. This is strictly a convention, and that just means what most people do. So this high underscore score, this is a Ruby thing. I think it might be Python as well. High hyphen score, I have no idea what that is. High score with a capital H. I think this is Pascal case, and then this is camel case. And so camel case is what you traditionally want to use with JavaScript. Again, when you get into a job, like at my job, everybody but me and the juniors were like hardcore Ruby developers. And so we do a lot of this because this is a Ruby thing. Um, but this is kind of, again, just the convention. It's what most people do. And so it's you start with a lowercase, and then for each word, the start of each word after that, you do an uppercase, and then that's called camel casing. And you'll see we got that one right as well. There's really not much to go over on this. Let's see if we got it right. And we did. So that's quiz 5. The next video, we'll get into coding exercise 17. I hope you guys learned something today. If you did, you didn't, you have questions, comments, leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next exercise.